Hello, everybody, and welcome to This is Legends of Yesterday. My name's Alexandra.
And I'm Angelica.
And we have a very special guest with us today. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
We have a very special guest. If you could introduce yourself.
My name is Dr. Bill Slevin.
Yeah.
I'm a world-famous paranormal investigator, demonologist, parapsychologist, author, and educator.
Huge title.
Incredible.
Right?
I love it. I love to see it. So, just how's your day going so far?
Yeah.
What's up?
We talked about toast.
Yeah,
we
a
talked
little
about
bit toast, light toast, not burnt
we're
toast.
in disagreement here about how we have our toast.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can't burn the toast.
I need it burnt, or else it's not
I can't
toast.
burn the toast either. I'm so sorry.
Even if I
you.
do things like biscuits and stuff, they come out half raw.
What?
Oh,
I don't like dark stuff.
man. Even
Pizza, everything.
your pizza, your cookies, I could deal with a little bit of
Cookies
raw
gotta be
flavor. Just cookie dough at this
Just cookie.
point.
No, just put them in for like a minute. No.
Well, we are super excited
Yes.
to have you here today because not only do we get the pleasure of talking to you, the listeners, watchers at home could take you home as well because you just released a book.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about you, your background, how you got into at least one of your numerous titles, because that's very impressive.
Well, I've been doing this now 36 years.
Mm-hmm.
I say 36 years actively investigating.
Mm-hmm.
So 36 years ago, I had my first investigation, but I've been into this since I was probably 9 or 10. I was just into paranormal. I was into horror. I was into anything spooky like that, which made me go and try to learn. And like I explained in the book, it's very different for me than it is, back then than it was now, because there was nothing there to learn. There was no internet. There was no TV shows. I had to go and try to find anything I could find in the library, which was very limited. Couldn't talk about it openly like it is now. We're here because of the TV shows and everything, because nobody's going to lock us up and think we're crazy,
Right?
like they would have back then.
Yeah.
I grew up in a Catholic household. It wasn't really something we talked about much. So it kind of led me. I just went down this rabbit hole when I was young, trying to figure out the experiences I was having, what they were. If I was going crazy, if I was actually seeing something, what it was. I was more interested in why than just trying to find a ghost somewhere.
Right.
A little different.
Yeah. And so I love your plug for public libraries. Support your public libraries.
For real.
Yes.
Get your library cards, guys.
Yeah, get your library cards.
Come on.
We're actually recording this in one of the oldest libraries in
Yes.
Broward.
If you couldn't tell, we're not in our normal studio today, guys.
We thought it would be thematic for a book.
Yes.
Right.
We're in the historic Davie Women's Club, which was established in 1922. And we are in front of their library, which was, I say, from checking history, the first Broward County library here. It was one of the first education centers here as well. Yeah.
So talking about your experience educating yourself as a kid, which is like such a cool Stephen King way to think about it. It's always like the kid going out, watching horror movies, or going out and reading books about ghosts or whatever. And the adults don't believe the kid when they find out.
They never do until it's too late.
I think a lot of them are starting to learn now that it's out in the open, that a lot of those imaginary friends weren't imaginary friends so much. I think they're starting to understand that, because kids are open more, and nobody knew that back then.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm an empath. So for me, I don't have psychic abilities, but I could sense energy and emotions of the living and the dead. So back then, nobody knew what an empath was. Nobody talked about an empath. I didn't know what that was. But at 10 years old, if I'm sitting in a family party and all of a sudden I start getting depressed, I didn't know why I was getting depressed, but it wasn't me. I was picking up on somebody else's depression. That's the thing I didn't know back then. It took me a long time to figure that out.
Yeah. And
It's a good thing to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you start questioning, like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And you're just picking stuff up.
Exactly.
And in your book, you talk, hold on, let me pull out my notes. So not a plug, because we're not sponsored by this, but Bookmori helped me a lot here. And I could find your book on Bookmori. So it also helped me out. They knew how many pages you had and everything.
That's incredible.
So there's you being who you are now. A lot of that started because you weren't scared to explore. You were more curious and scared. And in your book, David Sloan mentions that your approach to the paranormal is something that invites curiosity rather than fear.
Right.
And from what I read, a lot of your first experiences were more of that, like the mound story, which I really
that's a good one, right? I had to throw that in there. I said, "There's no way I could leave that out." My curiosity is what brought me there. Like I said, no joke. That house where I lived in Fort Lee, New Jersey, it was the house that all the kids thought was the haunted house, and they all run past it. Nobody wanted to go past that house. I would try to look around and see how I could get in there. That was my curiosity. And I've always been a technical person too. I have 33 years as an IT director. So I know how equipment works. I'm very scientific.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me, even from a young age, I wanted to know, was that something, or was that something I can explain? Because I don't understand it at that time, So I try to bring that in. I try to teach people what is real and what isn't real, because there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Which is extremely important. I think your tech background is like a huge added plus to your investigations because of that, because it's like, oh, science first, let's see what can be deducted from what's happening right now and what's going on. And I think that that's very comforting to know also, because it's like, oh, okay, it was that thing over there. That's what a great, I have the explanation. It wasn't that thing. Okay. Now we know we need to go in further.
It's like paranormal is STEM. It's a STEM field.
Yes.
Right. And the thing is, the people now, they're learning from the TV and from the internet.
Yeah.
TikTok. And the problem is, I don't discredit it. I say, have fun with it. But when you learn from the TV or from the internet, all you're learning about is ghosts. So if you go into a place and the light flickers or you hear a noise, you have no other thought in your head except it's a ghost. When you can't. Paranormal is the unexplained. If you can explain it naturally, it cannot be paranormal.
Yes.
So you have to look for the natural causes first. We don't think anything is paranormal or possibly paranormal until we rule everything out.
And I love that. And reading some of the stories, it's almost sad because not sad the style, but sad some of the reactions to that too. But it's tough. Like you might encounter something over and over again for months.
Yes.
And then, my floor was creaky. I should have fixed my floor. Right.
Yeah. And they don't think of that too, because especially now with TV shows, they watch shows all the time and they hear a noise and then they're frightened, and I tell people, I say, when we go to somebody's house, never do I not believe them. I believe what they're telling me they experience. Might not be what they think it is, but it's what they experience. The hardest thing we have is convincing a client they're not haunted because I saw that on TV. And it's got to be.
So you're saying that if we go TV land, right? We should go Scooby-Doo first.
Yes.
Then we should go.
Scooby-Doo is more accurate than some of the shows out there.
Really?
Yeah,
I think that's what was so comforting about it. You're like, oh, it's just that lawyer guy from down the road.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say. And I've said this recently too.
Okay.
Watch the TV show Evil.
Oh, okay.
That is what we do.
Which
That's
Evil?
so funny.
It was a series. They had it on regular TV first, and I think they moved. I think Netflix.
It was
has
on
it
Netflix,
now.
right?
It was with
That's
the
the one we
priest?
watched with. We watched it with our mom.
Okay.
a little bit.
They have the priest.
Okay.
Yes.
They have the science, the scientist,
Yes.
and the forensic psychologist.
Yes.
And when they go out and they assess cases, most of the time it's not anything. Now they do have the demons, and the demons. But it's not what you think it is all the time.
Right.
That's a lot. 70 to 80% of our cases are not paranormal.
Right.
Their mental health, their addiction, fear, grief, trauma. There's so many different things. And that's why I try to teach people, you got to look for these things because you can damage people. Like if you don't know that stuff, go out and go to the abandoned building. Well, I shouldn't say abandoned building. Don't go to abandoned buildings.
Don't go to an abandoned building.
Do whatever
Don't go there.
you do on your own time.
Get permission.
Yeah, I've always
Always get permission.
But like ghost tours and cemeteries and everything. Go do that and learn.
Mhm.
Don't go into a house until you know what you're doing.
Right.
Different.
Yes.
That totally
for sure.
makes sense.
Mm.
And that's something I loved reading too. Like so much of the time you try to pair an experienced person up with someone who's starting out, or even you
Right.
started with someone who is more experienced,
Right.
and you came in fresh by happenstance, basically.
I do
Yeah,
think
that
mentors
was
are a good key
Yeah.
factor to this.
Yeah.
That's why I say it was a calling, because I don't know how I wound up on that case first. So I don't, you know.
That's awesome.
So something else with some of the things people say on TV, I think it's great that you're like redirecting them towards evil, towards things that they can watch, because media is so much a part of
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. Hello, media.
Hello, media.
Exactly.
So it's so important because that's how we get our information now. Where do we look for good information for the paranormal?
That's tough.
Because
It's
would
hard.
you say, I don't want to say names.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying not to say names.
Yeah. But where do you look? What's your favorite? Let's say that. Where's your favorite?
Well, here's the thing.
Mhm.
If you go and look, there's a million books out there.
Mhm.
Every book, I have so many books. I probably have almost every one that's out there.
Mhm.
Every book will have something of importance in it.
Right.
That's the problem. It's like, I don't see any books out there that I could say 100% are everything. Go read this book and you're going to be, know everything.
Yeah.
But every book has something in it.
Yeah.
Even books you wouldn't expect. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say, but just read everything and judge on your own thing too. You have to think common sense.
Mhm.
If, like, I talk a lot about orbs.
Okay.
And that's one of my big things when I do lectures, and I lose a lot of people sometimes because, again, on my technical side,
Mhm.
I know what they're caused by.
Mhm.
So
Right.
orbs are
What
extremely
are they caused
rare.
by?
Well, they're caused by, everything you're seeing on the TV and the internet and everything is dust, pollen, dander,
Yeah.
cat
No.
hair. But
No, I don't believe this.
What?
Let's stop
What?
the podcast. This is ridiculous.
that's what I get all the
Dust?
time.
Oh no.
So
I know the majority of the time I'm like, that floated like dust or
Well,
a moth.
here's what I tell people. Real orbs, there are such things. The
Right.
term orb came out at the birth of digital cameras
Okay.
because the lens was too close to the flash, and the flash was reflecting off of things and creating orbs.
Right.
So a true orb, what we used to call as a spirit ball or a light anomaly or something back in the day,
Mhm.
I've seen 3 in 36 years in over 1,000 cases. So they are very rare, but they are believed to be a spirit or a demon trying to manifest itself into the room by pulling energy. So a real orb is pure energy. So it's a 3D ball of energy.
Right.
It has its own light.
Mhm.
It's round. It cannot be transparent, translucent, or anything like that.
Right.
So this is why I try to explain to people that what you see on a camera, where you see that little flat, transparent thing,
Mhm.
it can't be an orb, because if an orb flew into a room in
Uh-huh.
night vision,
Uh-huh.
the camera would turn out of night vision into daylight mode, because it would be like you turned a lamp on in the room because it has so much light coming from it.
Mhm.
And what you're seeing is a particle that you can't see with your eyes
Right.
that's reflecting the infrared lights off of it into the camera to making it appear,
That's so interesting. I never knew that. So now, okay, an orb is like the sun. A particle is like the moon.
Mhm.
Needs a light source to light up,
Right,
Okay.
right,
but a orb is the sun.
right.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's really interesting. That's so cool. Thanks for teaching me something awesome
Sure.
today.
The more you know, right there.
In my one case in there, when I talk about the real orb,
Yeah.
very different. And the thing is, you'll see them with your eyes.
Uh-huh.
That's the big thing.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
This is very cool. Why are people bummed out about that?
Yeah. What?
Because then their 8,000 photos they have with the little flat, transparent things, now I discredit them and they get all upset.
I think that's such a symbiotic relationship, though. Like when you go out and you make a discovery, and you talk a little bit about that, like having people debunk, not cynically,
Right.
like you state,
Right.
but like really debunk, like work with you, collaborate with you to see
Yeah.
what could this be? What could this not be?
Most people just want validation of what they believe.
Of
They
course.
want the truth,
Right.
unfortunately. And I'm very not like, The Facebook groups.
Mhm.
That's why I don't go in them so much anymore. I'm in so many groups, and I would go in and people would post something like the orb photo and be like, can someone tell me what this is?
Mhm.
So I go in and I'm very nice, tell them what it is, why it was caused,
Right.
how not to capture it, and what to look for, so you know what's real.
Oh.
And then I get ripped apart.
You give a step by
Ripped
step
apart.
guide.
I get called everything. And then someone, like the one, I always talk about this one. One person said, well, why should I believe you? Valid question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I explain real quick who I am. And they go, oh, so you have an ego.
What?
What?
That's what I'm told. So I don't know. I mean,
There's no right answer. It's like if I bake
never a
cookies
right
for
answer.
someone and I think they're amazing and
they're not burnt.
they're burnt,
No.
but I think that's amazing. And someone tells me like
Right,
they're
right.
burnt.
I say that's not a real
I'll
cookie.
I'll start chucking cookies.
Right.
It's a weapon at that point.
But yeah, no, that's what it's like. I have one guy that I'm not going to say his name. He's so dumb that he goes at me and he calls me. He says, I'm a prehistoric investigator that knows nothing about technology.
Okay.
I have 33 years in the technology field. That's because I discredit him because he uses phone apps. And he gets very, very upset by it.
I see.
So you have an arch nemesis, and that's pretty cool.
And he's an investigator.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Very sad,
Ooh.
actually.
It's exciting. Like, let's have that. That means like you're doing something. You have an arch nemesis. They have a cape.
He's the only person I have a problem with in this field.
That's wild. Now it is.
We won't go there. But, you know.
I still think this is cool. I'm about the story. I'm like, whoa.
I know
That's
that
it.
We have rivals here. This is so cool.
I'll tell you more later.
I want to know what was the first moment, because we had interviewed a member of your team, Danny, who, oh God, she's just so incredible. She's such an interesting person. And, but I asked her, and I think it's fun to ask you too, what is that moment where you were first like, oh, this is like real. This is legit.
That first case.
That first case.
That first case, because everything before that was what I was reading about, what I was going out on my own to a cemetery or something and trying to get, and I would hear a noise. I don't know if it's really something or not. But when I went into that house and the guy next to me got full on attacked, I didn't know anything about demons then. So I didn't know. So when I left there, like I said, I thought like, is this what a ghost does? Like, this is what I'm going to do.
This is my life now.
Yeah. And most people, I believe most people would have run from that. They would have never done this again.
Yeah, for sure.
And it made me like with a million questions.
My question reading that, I'm going to call it the case of 87.
The case of 87. Ooh.
Do you
89.
89?
Yes,
Dang
89.
it.
Wow, Angelica.
It was close.
Wow.
It was close.
I'm terrible with numbers.
Wow, Angelica. Wow.
So, the case of 89. With that case, before you, at least what was written, a lot of it is so positive. You had so many positive experiences with the paranormal and what you found. Do you think that, this is a leading question, do you think it did help? Do you think that's not the thing that helps keep going while the others kind of started to fade from the field after that experience?
It's what made me go. It's like I said, it's what really pushed me in, I guess, into that rabbit hole, because when they left, they were frightened out of their mind.
Yeah.
And they stopped doing this after that. So they didn't want to know anything else. I wanted to understand why it attacked him. Why it didn't attack me, why it was in there to begin with, what happened, how, like I had a million questions because like I said, at that point, I didn't know a lot. I didn't know anything about protection. I went in there like, oh, this is going to be fun. And why didn't it come after me? I have to this day, I still don't have an answer to that question. Things come after me now, but, and I still have no better answer to that question, but.
Have you ever gone back or tried?
No. Because it wasn't my case to begin with. So,
Yeah, but it is terrifying, and more terrifying that you can't talk about it at the time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool because reading about it and your discussion of like not being able to talk about it, and it's like you're the cowboys of the field.
Right.
Because like, I mean, you hear about like the posh paranormal societies of the past. And like here you guys are like discovering in the moment, experimenting, exploring, and it's pretty cool. You never know what to expect.
Right. And to clear something up,
Okay.
demons are extremely rare.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are. When you watch YouTube channels and you see things like 2 demonic cases in one night.
Aw.
No.
And to be clear, I'm very happy that's the case.
Me too. Trust me. I do not
Good
like those
thing
cases.
that-
Going back to evil, I had to stop at a point.
we had to because it was getting too like focused on that part. And then it was, I don't know, it got like a little too weird. And I'm like, why, how does that correlate at all to what your plot is? So
You
that
know who
was
you
for
need
me.
on your team?
Who?
None.
Yes.
The nun was the
She
greatest
was
character
awesome.
I love the Nun. I watched that
loved
movie.
her.
That was my birthday
Oh.
outing
Oh.
when it was released.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
Not the nun in the movie.
Evil.
In that too, but not the nun in the movie. And now I just shot her down. See what
Not
happens?
the Nun the movie.
It's fine.
Don't go
in-
seeking out the Nun the movie because that was a
Well,
demonic
don't go
entity.
seeking out that.
I won't tell
one.
you what I know about that movie.
Okay.
The movie Evil.
Yes.
They have the nun in that
Okay.
movie who was crazy.
She was so cool.
Yeah, she was.
I was like,
You would-
what?
You would want her on your team. Just she'll take care
I
of
want to be
everything.
your friend. What?
I'm lost.
Yeah,
now, but
for
it's-
sure. You what?
I'm lost now, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
You lost that
I'm not
one.
going to tell you what I know about the nun movie then.
Oh my god.
Well, we know that you're very experienced with the Warrens.
Oh yes, yes, that's true. Wow.
So
You talked about it, and then there very interesting couple chapters in your book
Yeah.
about a few things.
yeah.
I know we want to ask you things without as much detail of what's written in there. So
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
We're trying to dance around some stuff
No, I
because
know.
you guys need to buy
you
the
have
book
to get the book.
or go to your public library and read the book, but you need to read the book.
Please.
So there are some cases within the book that are quite interesting and for us close to home.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some things we did want to touch on this podcast, these videos, we focus on Florida, the history of Florida, the
Right.
mysteries of Florida, and the ghost stories of Florida.
Conspiracies, weird laws, aliens.
Just so you know,
Mhm.
I have a lot that might be in a possible upcoming book. I kept most of the stuff out of there from
Ooh,
Florida
secrets.
because, well, first of all, you see the book is big.
Yes.
And I fought with that for a long time,
Uh-huh.
and I kept pulling things out
Mhm.
because I love places like St. Augustine, Key West.
Mhm.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, there's so much.
Great.
The only thing I left in there really from Florida is Robert and David. And
Yes, it was so fun to see the pictures in the book.
yeah.
Respectfully.
Well, that's what. Okay, so if we're talking about Robert the Doll, so I know. So we had gone to Key West,
Right.
and we walked into a place that it said Robert the Doll. At the time, we had no idea who he was. So I Googled it real quick because I was like, I'm not walking into a place without knowing what's going on. And they had him in the display case. And I'm like, what is this? And I saw like all these investigations, all this stuff. And it was like, don't take a picture without asking permission and whatever. So I very openly was like, sup, Robert? Because I was taking pictures all over the place.
Right.
And I was like, I had to have caught him in a photo on one of the things. So I might have taken a picture of you. Is that cool? And then I took another picture and he turned out fine.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, thank you, respectfully. And then I just walked away out of pure fear of just like, I don't know everything about this doll and things like that.
Meanwhile, I'm one of the scaredy cats. I'm
Are you?
like, I'm not.
She was like, you did what? And I was like, I
can't
had a
get a
conversation.
response from you that I can trust, so I'm not going to chance disrespecting you with your photo up.
Yeah.
I can tell you this about Robert.
Okay.
I've known Robert for about 15 years
Okay.
at least.
Yeah.
I got a good relationship with Robert.
I read that, which was comforting.
Yes, I'm pretty good with him,
Nice.
as far as I know.
Yeah.
As long as you're respectful. Even David now says he doesn't fully believe that you have to ask permission for his photo.
Mhm.
But he said that started a long time ago, and people started having problems when they took pictures, like the pictures were coming out weird. And somebody said, oh, maybe he doesn't like photos.
Mhm.
So it became like kind of like a myth.
Mhm.
He said, but
Right.
the point is, if you see the sign
Mhm.
that says ask his permission and you don't,
Mhm.
then that's being disrespectful.
Right.
So
right.
it's better to ask. I ask when you saw those pictures.
Yes.
Me and David asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
We go in there, we say hi, we're respectful, and
Every time.
there's a few things about Robert though.
Yeah.
Like I have the little mini Robert at home I've had for like 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
And he's good. He goes with me to most of my places when I go. I bring him with me and my conventions and everything.
Little friend.
Little
yes,
buddy.
good friend. But I've been doing this 36 years. I've seen a lot. So I also don't test things. So the beginning of September, when I went up to Connecticut for a lecture, we had 2 nights and I was up there with Joe Frankie from the Warren Society and he was doing a whole lecture and I was talking mainly about Robert. I wouldn't put him on the plane. I would not pack him in my suitcase and bring him on the plane with me. I just did not feel comfortable.
That checks out. That checks out.
I'll put him in the car. I'm not putting him on the plane.
Yeah, no.
He probably hates flying anyway.
I don't want to know
who likes it. Other than pilots, who likes it?
I mean, I bet everyone on the plane was grateful too.
Probably.
Sure.
I don't think they'd want to know that I would have him in it.
No.
But it's cool because obviously what a protection plan. You don't want teenagers disrespecting you in that, maybe because the level it could get could be bad, like vandalism, trying to steal Robert, etc.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he has his own protection.
Yes.
You know?
I couldn't do it. I almost did. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So that when you start talking about Robert in your book, it's like one of the first moments I think that Florida really comes up.
Yes.
Would you say that, oh my gosh, all these leading questions, I'm not a good journalist. What would you say?
You remember our segues with Danny, right?
Yeah.
Segue, next question.
So what brought you to Florida?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've been here like 28 years. I've been here since 1998. I still don't know what brought me to Florida. I'll be honest.
The warm weather.
I just needed a change.
The cheery
I needed a change. Yeah. I was in Jersey and I love Jersey. I don't know why I came down here. I just needed a change. I came down on vacation. I went home. I came back for like a month to see if I liked it. And I moved.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Sometimes I still wonder why.
Yeah.
Well,
happens.
Great segue because something awesome came from it. And it's your own community that you built. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. My team?
Your team.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Or I don't know where you're going.
Like, the group that
The
you
building
created.
of the society that you created.
And you can talk about your team if you'd like, because we have heard off camera also how much you appreciate them all.
Yes, I do. My team is like an extended family.
Yeah.
It really is. I've been on so many teams throughout New Jersey and Florida, and there's always drama. There's always problems, and there's always people who don't get along, people that don't. And look, I don't know everything. All right. I do have a PhD in parapsychology and metaphysical humanistic science.
Can I pause for a minute?
Yes.
So, like, honestly, I want to know, what does that mean? Because it's such a niche field.
It is. It's even hard to explain, I'll be honest with you. But it's kind of the study of metaphysics with the human interaction into it, because it's teaching you how to work with people and how to work within it's not full metaphysics, and my mind would explode from that. This is hard enough, but it's like it's a tough thing to explain. But it's like working with the human interaction between metaphysics and what you're doing. Okay. It's a weird thing.
Okay. Weird is good.
Yeah. When I started that course, I had no idea. And it was so much metaphysics. And my mind was just all over the place. But
what did I do?
Yes.
It's for a cause.
Exactly.
It's good.
But even with all that and all my experience, I don't know everything. There's very little we know. We go on a lot of opinion-based and beliefs. So everybody has different beliefs. So when I go into a team or something, if somebody doesn't believe the same thing I do, it doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing. But I wanted to, eventually I said, I was thinking about starting a team because I was just tired of the drama and the problems. And I said, I'm going to start one. And I said, how am I going to find people? And I started I'm real picky. Yeah, okay. Because one of the things I say is, it doesn't matter if you have 1 day experience or 20 years experience of actual investigating. I can teach you how to investigate. I can teach you the basics and teach you the thing. Right. It's more about your personality, your compassion, for people, because we go in and do a lot of residential cases. Right. So I need to know, if I bring you into a house, you're going to know how to deal with that family properly.
Yeah.
You're not going to go in and think everything is a ghost. You're not going to go in and say something you shouldn't say. So I'm very picky with my people. I interview them. I sit with them. If you say that you have abilities, your abilities are going to be tested.
Yeah.
They are. They're going to be tested to make sure, you know, and doesn't mean, look, everybody who has abilities is not 100% accurate.
Yeah.
You know, they even said like Lorraine Warren, who was considered one of the best, you know, trans mediums in the world, she's maybe accurate 70% of the time, you know, so it happens. But it's more about the person and why they want to do this. You know, somebody comes to me and they'll be like, oh, how much does this pay? You're not going to be on the team. Yeah. Because we don't get paid.
If that's your first thought, no.
Which
that's
is
what it is.
Such a cool service you guys provide too. I was talking to my sister because I don't know where I saw it or read it, but I think it's Victorian England, the police force used to also have to double as, I think, I might totally be inaccurate here, but at one point, the police force doubled as paranormal investigators.
Yes.
Really?
So they went in and they, like, if you said you have a spirit in there, then they would
investigate in it. Yeah. And there was something that was called, I don't know if it was a spirit camera or a ghost camera or something, but it was a camera that they would take pictures of the rooms of to see if something would pop up in the flash.
And it's so important.
Whether it was accurate or not, I don't know. But also it was interesting because it's like, oh, this is something that was a service that it was meant to help people in their society. And
well, it's because it's so opinion based. It could be faith based depending on what you believe. You can easily take advantage of people because most of them that are coming to you, you're the last resort. So they're in fear, a lot of them. Some of them maybe not, but some of them are in fear. And I tell people, if I go into your house and you have kids and you're frightened and I say, it's a demon, it's going to kill all of you. We could get rid of it for $10,000. Somebody's going to write the check. You know, so there's so many, we don't consider it ethical to charge people. And that's why we do what we do. Because we're also there to give them the best help, because a lot of times it's not paranormal. So we need to push them in the right way and guide them in the right way to, you know.
And you talked about that could be costly too. So that with that charge and something that could really affect health. It, you know, that's an immediate concern.
If you don't know to look outside the paranormal and somebody has a mental illness and you don't know how to look for it or even think possibility of this, you can harm them, you know, tremendously, because you can make their illness a lot worse. Because your cleansing and stuff is not going to fix whatever their illness is. And now they're going to think whatever they're hearing is now going to kill them. It's dangerous.
Which I wanted to ask. So you used to work for a hospital, facility?
Psychiatric.
I want to know the like correct term of it.
It's a psychiatric drug and alcohol treatment facility.
Okay, wonderful. So
12 years.
Yeah, and I think that's incredible to have that background also recognized, because I would assume it's easier for you to spot like some things that you're used to seeing, but also to be able to have like a good reference point.
Yeah, it does. And I worked a lot with the doctor, asked him questions about things. He's taught me a lot about
that's good.
And stuff. And I even would go to him. I wouldn't tell him information about our case, but I'd go to him and be like, hey, if you have these 3 medications, what side effects can they cause to combine? Things I don't know. You know, and you see in the book, I even talk about him. I have a picture with him there too. And you know, he's helped a lot because I truly thought I would have been a patient if he knew what I was doing, you know, and it took me a long time until he found out, and then he embraced it and loved it and let me do presentations for the patients, you know, and stuff like that. So awesome. It's helped a lot. It's definitely helped a lot.
I really love the collaborative spirit that you have with your team. Can you talk about what's the name of your team?
The team is the Paranormal Existence Research Society. So we have, I don't know how many members now, 20 something, or at least we have people all over Florida, Georgia. It's changed. No, I think I got it all in there in the last minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Florida, Georgia, Nebraska, Indiana, New England, UK, Italy, Greece, and Brazil.
That's awesome.
It's international.
Interpairs is something that I'm working on separately.
Okay.
That's with another group in Brazil.
Okay.
That is, they're all like the most known psychics and investigators and everything in Brazil. And we're trying to put together, like they actually want to put together like an actual institution over there to teach and to teach people the right things to do and you know, do more on courses and things like that.
That's incredible.
A little different, you know, investigation too, but more on an education.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's incredible. Yeah. Because education is very powerful.
And over
Feels like
there,
this.
they're more open to understanding. Here we have problems with that. If we set up a thing and put courses up, all the other people in the field, not all the other people in the field. Some people in the field are going to come back at us and be like, who are you to teach a course? You don't know what you're talking about. And it's the problem within this field. Everybody argues too much. You know, we're teaching you. We're not saying this is the only way to do it.
Right.
I tell my people on my team when I bring them on first, I say, I'm going to tell you what I know. I'm going to teach you what I believe is correct. You have to take this and form your own opinions. Form your own opinions, form your own way of doing things.
Right.
But learn from what I'm teaching.
Right.
You know.
I mean, that's the incredible thing about your title, and staying humble with the title is fantastic. But there's something special about that because you understand the conversation the research can have with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, peer-reviewed journals are a thing, and not everything that people in the medical field study is all correct. It's what they believe based off of their research, based off of what they understand.
Yeah.
And so,
it's like I get in trouble for this all the time.
Okay.
I tell people it's like a doctor. And I say, if you go to your doctor and you say, my foot hurts, the doctor is an expert in the field.
Yeah.
See, people don't like to use the word expert because they're hung up on the term expert. They think expert means you know everything, and it does not.
Yeah.
So that's why I use this. I say, if you go to the doctor is an expert in the medical field. You say, I have a problem with my foot. He's going to look at it. When he gets to a point, he's going to be like, you need to go to a podiatrist because they're a specialist in the foot.
Right.
So they don't know everything, but they're still an expert in their field.
Right.
With us, it's the same type of thing. They come to us and we try to explain. And, you know, I will say that me and people on my team, I believe we're experts in the field because we know a lot about everything, not just the paranormal.
Right.
I have IT, I have everything. So we have a lot of different avenues of what we look at and what we do. Doesn't mean we know everything. Nobody knows everything. Nobody's ever going to know everything about this field.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's you know, it's one of those things that with expert, it's a bad term. People hate it.
Let's use it a lot then.
Let's use it all the time.
Expertise. Expert in paranormal. Let's go.
Well, when I was on the Devil's Academy, they put,
what a great
what did they
segue.
put?
We're going to bring this up next.
Yeah,
what
we
a
were
great
going to ask
segue.
about a story.
No, I think they weren't too bad. I think they put demonology specialist. I forget what they put because I told them.
Yes, it was something like that. Yes.
Specialist. Because that's what I used to call myself until I was given the title of demonologist. You either have to be clergy or you have to be given the title by clergy. So I respect it and I never used it for many, many years.
That's
right.
Wow. Two huge things today.
Yes.
Okay.
Two big things.
Yeah, I only took that title only a couple of years ago. I used to say demonology specialist. It's the same thing. I do the same thing, but I respected the title.
Right.
You know, so when I was talking with the people from Discovery and they said, well, no, we're going to put you as demonology expert. I'm like, no, don't do that. I said, first of all, I'm definitely not a demonology expert, but if people will get rattled by that term.
Yeah.
It's kind of dumb, but they get rattled.
Yeah.
I get rattled because I'm scared of demon. That's how I get rattled.
Me too. Because I will tell you, anybody going back to those shows and stuff, anybody who tells you that they were on demonic cases and they're not scared, they have never been on a demonic case. I will say that 100%.
I'll even hear about some cases and I'm like, nope, not today. Not today.
Well, because you don't know what's going to happen. So it could be nothing or it could be really bad. I don't look forward to those cases, but I do them because I want to help people. You know?
And that's something I loved about reading, like that almost I need to help this person, but also, today's going to be a weird day.
Yeah, because when something happens, like I said, you just kind of sit there like, what's next?
Yeah.
You don't know. And it's, that's why I say like that was an actual YouTube channel one of their episodes where it said 2 demonic locations in one night. Again, first of all, the odds of you finding 2 demonic locations in one night is extremely rare, and you wouldn't be all happy and laughing.
No, you wouldn't be like, wow, look at this footage. You'd be like, I quit.
It was so much fun. I can't wait to come back next year.
I booked an appointment with my psychologist, and we're fine. Everything's fine.
You know what I tell the people when I'm speaking all the time and they ask me about YouTube and TikTok, especially TikTok? I said, here's the thing with TikTok. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
There are 2 things. There's paranormal entertainment and there's paranormal. It's very different. I love both. I don't discredit the shows. I love them. But TikTok, when you see the one guy, I don't know his name, I don't know what he is, and he sits there and his door's opening and closing and he's filming it. And he's like, look at this every day. And it's fake. Because he would run so far out of that house if that door was opening and closing on its own. Maybe I wouldn't, but he absolutely would. There's no way.
I love the mediums on TikTok that are like verified or whatever though, but they watch videos like that and they go, that's not real. That's not real. That's definitely not real. Okay. Are you guys pranking me? This isn't real. And I'm like, see, I like that. That points something out. But some of the other mediums on TikTok, I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but you can't reach me through the screen right now. Yeah.
Let me see, there's a guy that used to charge $600 to do Skype exorcisms.
Wow, that seems cheap.
Yeah.
Wow.
And let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
Do you think that would work?
Totally.
Exactly.
Zoomersism.
So see, these are the problems we have with people. So I am very picky, especially with people that say they have abilities. But I can tell you things like one time on my team, we're on a case. And when we do the case, the first initial part of the case is an interview we do on Zoom now. The only good thing I say about COVID is that it gave us the ability to do that.
Yeah.
And our psychics can see through the screen. They can't, it's not like they're doing exorcisms through the screen, but they can see what's going on.
Right.
So we have a separate chat aside from the client that we chat back and forth with as we're on there. We'll have like 4 or 5 of us on there. And one day, one of my team members, a couple of the team members, I think from Georgia, were on there, and they were saying they saw something really bad in there that they didn't like. And they're going, Bill, be careful. It's coming through into your room. It's going to mess with your electronics. And and this is recorded because we record it. And as soon as they said that, behind me, all my LED lights that are all red in my room, all started flashing all kind of crazy colors until they did something and then it stopped. And that was captured on the thing. Wow. I didn't even notice it at first. Yeah. They said it to me. They go, did you see what your lights were doing? I didn't notice because we're behind me.
Yeah.
So things can go through the screen a little bit, but it's you have to be careful. That's why we tell people know what you're doing, protect yourself, do things, because a horror movie is not going to come through your screen.
No, are you sure?
Let's clear that up. A horror movie.
I watched
this is what we talked about, Danny. It's the energy you create in the room also that can affect the space. Right. So that's a big thing. But I do want to keep time.
Okay.
So
can I?
Because I'll go all over the place.
You can segue to one thing.
Okay.
I'll go all over the place. So
I know. I
control me too.
Yeah. So you tell a lot of stories in your book. Very interesting stories that you should read.
Thank you.
One that's interesting. You were on Ghost Asylum, or no, not Ghost Asylum. You were on Academy. Devil's Academy. Yeah, there's an asylum in there somewhere. But I'm not looking at my notes.
There's an asylum in there somewhere.
My notes are messing me up.
I'll correct you.
Devil's Academy. Devil's Academy is very interesting because it's a little close to home for us.
I want to ask you for a story that you've experienced that will not give away too much, or the Devil's Academy, telling us a little bit of a story there. You have a choice, but it has to be from Florida.
Has to be from Florida.
Yes.
Well, okay. So the Devil's Academy, I wasn't there. That was in 1979.
Right.
So they just brought me in as what's the word? As a specialist in demonology.
Yes.
Specialist.
Not an expert.
Not an expert. Specialist in demonology. So I know what I've read about it, what I found out about it, and the things. So it's not a lot I could say. Like I wish. I don't want to say I wish that happened now, but I wish it was more recent because then there would have been cameras everywhere.
Right.
And back up some of the claims, you know. Okay, I can tell you about one that's not in there.
Okay.
So I can tell you about a bad attachment I got.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but tell us. We're interested.
West Palm Beach.
Okay.
At the Riddle House at Yesteryear Village.
Oh.
So now it's on the fairgrounds in West Palm Beach, Florida. And they have like, I think it's about 15 or so houses that are the oldest houses from West Palm Beach that were like uprooted and put there.
Right.
So they're all little museums. Some of them have a history of hauntings in them. The Riddle House is very known because Ghost Adventures was there in the first season. I think it was the first season.
Something like that.
Yeah. And I think other people have been there too. So it's a known thing about this guy, Joseph, who hung himself in the attic. So there's a lot of stories about the Riddle House. Now, a team, War Party Paranormal, that I've worked with a lot, great people. And they do a lot of the tours for the city there. And what they get is they get free nights to go in on their own and go investigate. So they're nice enough to bring me along a lot. So I've been to the Riddle House a million times.
Yeah.
Never had problems there. And I go protected as much as I can. You know?
Yeah.
It's always the millionth and one.
Yeah.
Million one.
Yeah, maybe two.
Oh,
But this one time we went and it was, I believe it was October of 23. It was 22 or 23.
Okay.
And it was like any other time. We went there, we go up. This time they had the attic open. And normally they don't do that for anybody, but for them, they allow it. So went up in the attic and I went up there and everybody was doing an EVP session. For anybody who doesn't know what an EVP session is, we take digital recorders, we ask a question, and then we stay silent for 10 to 15 seconds. And at the end of that, we play it back and sometimes we get responses directly to us.
Yes.
So they were all doing EVPs. So we came up and one of the guys there was saying, okay, this guy's never been up in the attic before and he's got a new device, talking about me directly. So what I want you to do is talk directly to him. And when we played back one of the guy's recordings, it was one of the strangest things we've ever gotten because it talked over him speaking. And it said straight out, I mean, it wasn't even anything anybody questioned. It straight out said, he's dead. Right? Now, I've been doing this a long time, so I laughed.
Yeah. It's like,
I laughed. I'm like, okay. You know, and again, I've been there a million times. I didn't think anything was up. The only thing I did is when we were leaving, their stairs in that place is like this. It is a very, they're like this wide. And,
you know, the old school stairs are super safe.
In the attic, it was hard. It's horrible.
Yes.
So I gave everybody my stuff and I was holding on to the railing and because I've been pushed many times. So I don't need to be pushed down these stairs.
Smart.
Just in case.
Yeah, for sure.
I left.
Nice.
We did an extra blessing. I did extra stuff. Went home and for the next 3 weeks, I was a mess. I was sick. There was nothing wrong with me. Went to the doctor. I couldn't find anything wrong with me. I had bad luck, everything you can think of. You know, again, I'm a tech guy, so I built my own computers.
Right.
My computer that I just built just blew out and died. $1,800 to fix it. Right?
Jeez.
I got cleansed and blessed. It went away. The next day, well, I felt it. I think it went away.
Yeah.
The next day I woke up and I wasn't sick anymore.
Yeah.
The next day, I joke about this. I went with my wife and my parents, and we went over to the casino for a brunch.
Yeah.
And then we went down and we said, okay, we're going to gamble a little bit. I like to play 3-card poker. So I went down. I said, I'm going to play a little bit. And it was like the second or third hand I had. I got a straight flush and won $1,800.
Oh.
Exactly what it cost me to fix
your computer.
Whoa.
So
whoa. I
is
didn't
that
catch that. I went,
is that a coincidence? Most likely. I don't know.
But still freaky.
It might not be. I don't know, but it was very weird.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just too specific. Yeah. Wild. Whoa.
Super wild.
Yeah. We actually know a lady who was a part of the women's club that she is a thrifter. And over at the Riddle property, they have like some thrift stuff that happens there.
Oh, you're right.
And so she got a couple toys that her kid wanted and she had brought it in her car, and in the warehouse, all of a sudden her boyfriend was like, oh, where'd you put the toys? And she's like, I didn't move them. Did you move them? And all of a sudden you hear the toys going and they were rolling down the hall. And she goes, oh, I immediately got rid of that.
Yeah.
I didn't even try to be like, what is that? No, I just tossed it out. I was I'm done. I don't want to. And I'm like, yes, what a fun place to be.
Yeah.
It's a great place. I actually have more activity in some of the other houses, the L Street house. We've gotten a lot of stuff in, but that was just weird. And I can't see, those are the things I can't explain because I've been in that rental house a whole bunch of times. I've never had a problem. And then we went back again. The first time I went back after that, they had the attic open again, and me and two of my teammates, Rob and David, we went up into the attic, and I sat down. I had to leave. I was dizzy. I didn't know what was going on. I had to leave. I went, I got lightheaded. I had to leave the house.
That's crazy. It's also crazy that like you got a return of the money. So it's like, was that a sorry? Was the
karmic balance
faith overpowering it? I don't know. Those are things we can't explain.
That's crazy. But it did not want you in there. Wow.
I don't know why. I mean, I've been in there so many times, but never in the attic. So if the story about Joseph and everything is all real up there and all that, maybe he didn't like me. Sometimes they just don't like certain people.
Maybe because you laughed.
We've experienced that with War Party as well, that Eric's gotten kicked out of a couple places before. And they're like, can the guy with the mustache leave? Like very specifically. And we're like, well, you're the only dude in here, Eric. So I think it's time to go. But if you want to hear more stories by Bill, if you can hand me that, Angelica, you can go ahead and check out his book.
And something super cool.
Yes. If you do your own investigating, there's something fun that we just found out about, a journal and case log for your paranormal investigations. Can you tell us a little bit about this book?
Sure. So I decided to put something together because I've had people ask me how we record what we're doing on a case, whether it's public or private or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
And I decided to put a book together that there's up to 10 cases you could do in there.
Incredible.
And they're structured like we do most of our cases. So a lot of our the questions and the things we ask and all the things in there are all in there to structure your case. And it doesn't matter if you're doing a residential or a public case or even a ghost tour. It will still fit along with it. It's something fun and some people like it.
That's pretty incredible. So before you go on your next ghost tour, I mean, I would pick one up.
I would get one. And then where can people buy your book?
Right now, it's on Amazon. You can look for it as Living Life Haunted. I will have it very shortly up on my website, billslevin.com, where you could purchase it there autographed. And any events I'm doing, I'll have them always with me to sell.
That's incredible.
Sweet. So you can get it from the man himself, or you can get it from the man at Amazon.
Yes. And then social media wise, where can people find you?
Well, my website is the easiest, billslevin.com.
Yes.
On Facebook. And all of my social media is all the same. It's all at Slevin Paranormal.
Oh, sweet. So, super simple.
Easy. Yes.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much, Bill, for being here today. We really appreciate it. Oh, yes, this was so fun.
I had a good time. Yes, I had a lot of fun.
Well, my friends, until next time, my name is Alexandra.
I'm Angelica.
This is Legends of Yesterday. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Ah!